Welcome to the Flip Your Life podcast, the go-to podcast to help you flip your life and your financial future through real estate. My name's Reilly, and
I'm Vaughn Bethell. What's up, guys?
What's up? And we are here today with another episode. We are going to talk a little bit about ethical real estate investing. What is ethical real estate investing? How do you invest ethically? And then hear from Vaughn what REI Junkies' take is on ethical real estate investing. So,
yeah,
to kick us off, Vaughn, or what do you think it means for you and for REI Junkies to invest ethically in real estate?
So investing ethically for me is investing with a purpose, right? And investing for the right reasons. And not that making money, which is what investors hope to do, right? And that's the reason we get into investing in the first place, is to make money and let our money work for us and grow. But if we can do it with a ethical purpose behind it, doing it for the right reasons, doing it to help others other than just ourselves. So that's kind of what I look at when you talk about ethical investing, right? So does your investments have a purpose? Is it doing good for the community, the world, whoever it's impacting? Or is it just lining pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with lining our pockets. We're taking the risk. We're investing the money, right? And we want our money to grow. But the people that we're working with, or the people that is benefiting, what is the purpose behind that?
Sure. Yep. So what would you say is one of the big purposes that you think add to the, I don't know if this is a word, the ethicalness, the ethicality, the ethics
is that
of
hey.
Coming up on the cuff with stuff, but
we need a thesaurus.
I know, for real. A thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
But yeah, what do you think, or not what do you think, what are the things that REI Junkies does that adds to the ethics of real estate investing for you guys?
So first and foremost, we want our investing to have an impact beyond just our company and the individuals that are in this company, right? Mm. So when we invest, we're helping people beyond just REI Junkies. First, we're helping sellers that we buy properties from. Majority of the time that the sellers that we're buying the properties are from are in a distressed situation, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that the property is distressed, which a lot of times it is, but they can be in another form of distress, such as financial distress. They can be going through a divorce. There could be tax issues, inheritance issues. So there's a lot of different types of distress beyond just the condition of the property.
Sure.
Right. So we're helping sellers get out of a distressed situation, and we're buying the property for a fair price. And when we say fair, it's fair for them and it's fair for us, because we come up with an agreement that works for both parties.
Yep.
Right. So everybody's definition of fair is different. Right.
Yep.
But as long as it works for them and works for us, and we come up with a mutually beneficial agreement, then we feel good about it. Right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead and finish your thought.
And I was going to say, just on the other side of it, beyond helping sellers, we're also helping buyers. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole purpose of our Pathway to Homeownership program, is to help people become homeowners that the traditional methods won't give them the opportunity.
Exactly.
Right? They won't take a chance on them. And then the third piece is we help investors, right? Other investors that like to be involved, want to have an impact, want to have their money do good for them while making money, but they simply don't have the time or the experience to invest in real estate. So we bring them on as private money partners.
I like it. Okay. So you're solving three problems in one solution, essentially. Now, one of the questions that I know typically comes up in people's minds that maybe aren't as accustomed to the real estate world, and it's an understandable question, and I'm curious what your thoughts and how you would maybe help shape someone's frame of reference for this. But when we talk about buying distressed properties or properties from distressed sellers, some people out in the ether will view that as preying on a distressed seller. How would you respond? Because we're talking about ethics. Yeah. How do you help someone understand a little bit better of that it's not preying on them, that we're legitimately helping them out of a tough situation?
Absolutely. It's all in how you approach it, right? And, wholesalers or other investors have given the good investors a bad name over the last 5 to 10 years, right? And it's all in how they approach it, right? So a lot of people think of wholesalers as, hey, you're just giving those people a lowball offer. You're stealing equity from them. You're stealing their properties for, pennies on the dollar, when that's really not the case if you're doing things ethically, right? And you're doing things right. So for us, it's really approaching the seller and figuring out what their situation is, right? One, what's the urgency? Do they really need to sell a property? And are they ready to make a decision today? And a lot of times we approach sellers that don't even know that they can sell their property in its current condition, right? So we said earlier that a lot of properties that we buy, they're physically distressed.
Yep.
So when you think about real estate and hiring an agent, most of the times you're thinking about HGTV,
Beautiful, nice
retail
house.
ready, it's ready to move in, right?
Yep.
And that an agent's going to show and do open houses and things such as that. And when somebody has a distressed property, whether they're living in it themselves or is tenant occupied, a lot of times those properties aren't in a position or in a condition to show on the market, right? And then people are going to come in and be like, oh, they just can't see beyond the mess.
Yep.
Right. So internally and intrinsically, they don't think they can sell the property.
Yeah.
So one of the only ways they can get out of that property is through an investor that will come in and buy the property as is. Right. Yep. And a lot of times the sellers don't have the money to fix up the property to get it market ready, as traditional listings typically are.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of people. So if you don't mind me sharing a thought, is when people think of the ethics of buying distressed properties or buying properties from distressed sellers, I would just, if they think that's predatory or whatever, I would pose a counter question to someone out there. If that's something that's going through your brain, is which one is more predatory? An investor giving a fair offer for the condition and the situation that the property is actually in, and actually being able to perform on that offer that's made, not guess market value and hope someone buys it. But you're saying, hey, I will buy your property in this amount of time for this amount of money.
Absolutely.
Versus a realtor. Now there's some great realtors out there, but there's also a lot of realtors that don't know how to go a couple layers deeper to solve problems.
Yeah.
And a realtor, let's say there's a distressed seller, they're in some kind of financial bind. They need to be able to move in 30 days to another state. Yep. And they need the cash, and their property's not in good condition. They need to sell it. And then a realtor comes along and said, hey, I think you can get X amount, because obviously they get a bigger commission the more your house sells for.
Yeah.
So they're incentivized to push for higher prices, to do all those things. And meanwhile, this person's clock is ticking, and then they miss out on either an opportunity or their credit gets ruined for some reason, because that clock was, and their need was time. They needed to get out of this rough house quickly. And an investor can do that, where sometimes a realtor might not be able to. So when you think about the ethics of investment real estate, realize that it's not all as clean cut as we like it to be. There's layers, there's people's problems that they're dealing with, and investors that are working ethically are trying to solve people's problems and still be able to make a profit at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And if you look at that scenario, from the outside looking in and not knowing any better, right, you would think that the realtor would be more predatory because they're trying to make a dollar, and, they're trying to get the most money as they can for the property. Well, not, being in this for 6 years now, the reality is it's a lack of knowledge and a lack of experience, right?
Yeah. Because they're trying not to be predators.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
They just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And, going through a real estate licensing course, they don't teach this stuff in there, right?
None of that stuff.
99% of realtors out there have no idea, how investors put offers together in the investment world, right? So they are not 100% certain that there is a cash buyer that's going to come in and buy the property as is, right?
Sure.
So they're only doing what they've been taught, and they're going through their own knowledge base, and they're trying to help them. They really are.
Sure, exactly.
But in the manner that they know, right? So if we can get realtors to expand their horizons and understand the investment game, and realize that in a situation where the property is distressed and the seller doesn't have the time, the financial means to put money into the property, to be able to sell it as is and go direct to investors is the fastest and most convenient thing that they can do.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. So if you're a realtor out there and you're watching this, and you're not working with investors that are reputable investors, that have a track record of ethics, then you're probably missing out on a lot of opportunity, because you can expand the volume of problems you're able to solve as a realtor through working with investors like Vaughn or others in your market.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every realtor should have at least a handful of investor partners that they work with on a consistent basis, because some people want, the best price and the most they can for their property. And a lot of people just need speed and convenience, right? And the best way and the fastest way to do that is through an investor.
Exactly. Yep. And that's where the discounts on properties come from. It's not stripping equity from someone.
Yep.
It's putting a price on speed and convenience.
Exactly.
You're providing a service. What is that service? It's speed and convenience and problem solving.
Yep.
And let's say the property would maybe sell on the open market for $100,000. Well, maybe someone's willing to pay you $20,000 to solve their problem in 2 weeks, right? That's not stripping equity. That's providing a service for a price. And that
absolutely,
a lot of times complex problems you got to solve.
And there's a lot of value in that, right? And if you just look at the time cost of money, right? A cash buyer, an investor, can come in and close in a lot of times as little as 7 to 10 days, or as long as it takes the title work to come back.
Exactly.
Right? They don't have to wait for loans and going through the processing and all that good stuff. So they can close quickly. And if you look at, if that same seller had to hold that property for 30, 60, 90 days, their carrying cost is adding up. But not taking away, you can't overlook the opportunity cost, right? What if they need to move, right? What if they, something, they're in a situation where it's about to go to a foreclosure auction or a tax auction or something like that.
They got a job opportunity.
Right? That takes them out of town. So you want to make sure that you look at the opportunity cost and then the time cost of money.
Awesome. So one last question on this topic is, what kind of things do you think people out there that maybe are interested in, we talk to a lot of investors and potential private lenders and whatnot. What kind of things do you think people who are thinking about lending on real estate need to look for to ensure that they're investing ethically?
Yeah, it's investing ethically. If you're as a lender, right, there's a couple of things that you want to make sure you do, right? And make sure that you're vetting the investor that you're partnering with or lending money to. Make sure that they have a track record and a history. They have that experience there. And fully understand what their plan is, what their purpose, cause, and passion is. And then the other thing is like, who is your money helping, right? Is it helping just align the pockets of the investor you're working with and just align your pockets? There's nothing wrong with that. We all got to make money to live. But if you can do that and do good, right? Do good in the community by helping a seller out of a distressed situation, helping a potential buyer get into a house that they wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise. Those are just added pieces on top of the puzzle, right? So you always want to just do your full due diligence, vet the investor, vet the deal, and just, obviously follow your heart too.
That's a good point. I know sometimes following our heart can lead the wrong way, but when it comes to charitable situations, we all we can get a gut feeling of whether someone's intention is only profit or if their intention seems to go a little bit deeper than that. So good stuff, man. If anybody out there is watching and they are curious on how they can either get involved by investing with REI Junkies or reaching out with deals or want to buy, where would you point them to? What would be your recommendation?
Go to our website, reijunkies.com. You'll see, more information about us. You'll get an idea of some of the deals that we have out there. You'll see some before and afters, see some of the families that we help get into homes. And then also you have an opportunity to follow us, right? There's a couple different ways to follow us, whether that be Facebook, joining our email list. There's a QR code on our website. You can get on a text message list. So there's a number of different ways to follow what we're doing and the opportunities.
Very cool. And if I'm not mistaken, you also have a regular webinar you do to kind of teach people a little deeper.
And we post that on our Facebook page every single week. We're doing the webinar right now, twice a month or every other week. And we're about to up that because we have a couple different versions of our webinar coming out. It's not just going to be the same one, but we're looking at 3 or 4 different topics that come up a lot when people are interested in investing with us.
Very cool. Awesome, man. Well, it's been a good episode. I think it's an important topic to talk about ethics. And so if you guys have enjoyed learning this, make sure you please like, subscribe, do all the button clicking things. And definitely, if you're interested in becoming a part of the community, maybe investing some money, whatever the situation may be, please reach out to Vaughn. Like he said, go to the socials, go to the website. There's a bunch of ways to get in touch. And until next time, see ya.
Can't stop, won't stop.